Hello everybody, I just wanted to do a real quick video for a fella on the Yahoo forum for the Korg DSS. He was asking a few things about how to set up systems and all that. So I wanted to give you a quick run through of a few of the features of the Korg DSS. Sweet little keyboard. Here you go. I just turned the keyboard on, nothing's happening right now, so what I'm going to do is create a new waveform, and I'm going to choose a harmonic synthesis, that's number 2, and I can choose a few basic preset ones. I'll just do a saw for right now. You hit enter, and what it's going to do is calculate what that wave shape would be, and once it calculates it, it spreads it out across the keyboard. Now the keyboard uses multi-sounds. If you're familiar with old style keyboards or samplers, modern samplers, a multi-sound is going to be like you've got this one sample that gets pitch shifted up a few keys, then you have a second sample which gets pitch shifted up a few keys, a third, etc., etc. So this one saw sound is really only about 7 different samples pitch shifted across the keyboard. Okay, so there's your basic synth sound. Once you get that happening, you can go into your program parameters here, and you can go ahead and program all that stuff. That's where you effectively change your cutoff, whatnot. So let's go ahead and, so you can save all, you can deal with that and get fun and creative. So that's the basic idea behind that. If you've created your multi-sound, whether you've either used sample multi-sound or you've created the waveform, whatever, once you've got that happening, what you need to do is you actually need to save the waveform. So you can go into multi-sound, and I'll say select multi-sound because there's already one in there, and I'm going to say yeah, that's the one, multi-sound 1. It's since I just started the keyboard, that's the only multi-sound that's in there. And then I'm going to choose parameter 9, save, and here's where I'll save it to disk. I can save it as whatever. So once it's saved to disk, then I'm fine. Frankly, a lot of times when I'm creating a new, what they call a system on the DSS-1, I will create it from scratch. I'll actually start the keyboard up from scratch just to make sure there are no multi-sounds in the memory and all that. I don't have to wipe anything off of the memory. It takes about 4 seconds to turn off and on the keyboard. So, excuse me, so what I would do is, let me do it real quick. Let me just flip off the keyboard. I'll turn it back on, and what you can do is, let me grab a disk here, my nice beige drive. Sorry about this shaky camera. I'm trying to hold it with one hand. If I'm going to create a brand new system, now a system is a group of programs. So there's 32 different programs, but those 32 different programs will reach onto the disk and pull off whichever multi-sound is on the disk that you need. If it's multi-sound for a drum set and a synthesizer and a trumpet, that's what it'll grab off of the disk as it loads that new system. If you want to create a brand new system, here's what you do. You'll go into your system mode, and you'll go, actually, when you turn on the thing, it defaults to System A. System A, of course, has 32 different presets. System A, preset 1, 2, 3, etc. But right now, if we were to play that, there are no sounds because we haven't loaded any multi-sounds. So what we need to do is we need to get those multi-sounds off of the disk. So I'm using a disk I already created. This is my modern analog drums and synths disk. I'm going to go ahead and grab a multi-sound off of that disk. Get multi-sound? Yes. It's going to take a split second, and I'm going to choose it with the data thing here. And I'll choose which one I want. I'll just grab kick and snare 1. Are you sure you want to load it? Sure. It just takes a second here. This is going to load this up into the memory. So once that's loaded up into memory, I will then create the patches that use that. I'm not going to continue. I'm just going to use that one. So now I've loaded it into memory. Once I go into parameters, or once I get out of that, you can see I'm back on preset number 1. Now preset number 1 is the preset that I'm going to be adjusting. So I can go into my parameters, I can adjust the cutoff, etc., etc. I love to do the, where is it at here? Pitch bend, you know. Oops. Let me go ahead and change that to, if you do a nice pitch bend down, do a little quite intense. I'll take my filter back up. I like that little thing. Anyway, so there you go. Once you're done editing that preset, you go back down to F01, and that's where you can name it and save it. Name it, I'll just not name it right now, but that's where you would. Save it into preset number 1, yes. Write into memory, yeah. Continue, no, that's it. I've already just saved it to preset number 1. Now I didn't change the name, so it's still there as no name. That's great. Now I've got that preset with its pitch bend. If I go to preset number 2, it's going to be back to the basic sound. Preset number 1 with the pitch bend that bends down in time. That's great. I've just created one preset. I want to save the entire system though. This system, even though it's got 32 sounds, I want to save the information for each particular patch or program, as well as which multi-sounds it needs to grab off of the disk. So at this point, once I've edited as many presets as I want, I'll go into system, and then I would save the system, and that should save everything to disk. It may ask you if you want to overwrite the old multi-sounds that exist on the disk. I usually don't, unless for some reason I've gone in and edited those multi-sounds during this editing phase or this patch programming phase. Usually I don't. Usually I get all the multi-sounds dealt with first, and then just grab them off the disk into whichever system I'm going to use them in, create 32 different patches, and then save the system. And that's pretty much it for getting these multi-sounds into a system, saving a system, and getting around this keyboard. It's not the most intuitive keyboard off the top here, because you're not exactly sure of the terminology. At least I wasn't. It took quite a while to get used to it. Anyway, I'm going to create another video here in just a moment regarding creating multi-sounds. So check that out if you'd like to. Thanks a lot, YouTube. Good luck with all your music, and have a good one.